Welcome to People Who Inspire. I'm your host, Mary Drelisak. According to a CBS News Money Watch report, 4.1 million Americans will turn 65 this year, making 2024 a record year for retirements. Among the many moving on to the next chapter is Bea Jarbeck-Burk. For the past 24 years, she has served as the Director of Fitness at the YMCA of Laurel Highlands. Just retired, we get to talk about the people and places that made Bea who she is and where life will take her from here. Let's meet Bea. So Bea, Friday you retired, today is Monday. You didn't have to set the alarm when you woke up.
True.
How does it feel?
It's sort of surreal.
Yeah.
It's really different to not have to get up and meet a client or go in to teach a class or that kind of thing. So it was really nice just to get up, and it was a beautiful day. So I was up and sitting on my porch having my coffee and reading a newspaper. So
you couldn't have picked a better Monday
Right?
to have been retired
Yes.
on than today. It was
I
beautiful,
agree.
72 and sunny.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your role at the YMCA of Laurel Highlands.
Okay. Well, when I first started there, it was 24 years ago, and it's a new facility. It was rebuilt in East Huntington Township from Scottdale, and I was hired as the Director of Fitness, and I've been in that role for the whole 24 years that I've been there. So I'm the first in that position. They really didn't have somebody there in Scottdale, but when the new facility became ready to open, I was hired just a few weeks before the doors actually opened.
Wow, brand new.
Brand new facility.
That's
Yes.
awesome. What do
Yes.
you wish everybody could know about this special place?
I wish that they would know that they can come visit it and take a tour and see it, because I'm sure there's so many people in not just Scottdale or Mount Pleasant, East Huntington Township, but the surrounding communities that have not been in our building, in our facilities, and we're 24 years there. So I would want them to say, it's not just a fitness center. There's so much to the YMCA and what we offer. I would say come join us. Just
Absolutely.
come in and see it.
Share some of those things, because I
Okay.
was amazed at that. So many things that are offered. there.
Yes, so along with our fitness center, we have a huge gymnastics center. We have a dance studio. We have a fitness loft, which is our second floor, which is where we teach our group exercise classes. We have Child Watch. We have Y-Tots, which is a preschool educational program. We have 2 classrooms for that. We have an outdoor track. We have outdoor fields. We have outdoor archery. We have 2 new pickleball courts that were built, or 3 were built last fall, 2 falls ago. So this will be the first full summer for those. So it's just a big campus, and people don't realize that it's not just walk in and there's a fitness center and that's it.
Right.
So
much to do.
So much to do in those areas, and we have a great active older adult program, not just classes, but we have knitting club and a book club and a Bible study, and we do trips. We do trips to different shows, like in Lancaster or Pittsburgh, meals and shows and things like that. So there's just a lot of variety
Yes.
and a lot of offerings within that building that people are just not aware of.
For all ages, and it's really a community.
It is a
Isn't it?
community facility.
Absolutely.
Community
That's so
programs.
Awesome. That's
yeah.
so awesome. What have you loved most about your job?
I think most the people I think I've touched, or the people I think I've helped, and the people themselves that have inspired me or shown me or guided me, or that I've learned from. I've learned probably as much in the time I've been there that I've taught to other people. So the people is what makes the building. The building is just a building.
Yep.
Without the people, it's just a building.
The people in it and the people that you touched.
Correct.
What jobs did you have before? So you were there for 24 years. That's quite a long time.
I was there for 24 years.
What did you do before?
So prior to that, right out of college, graduating from IUP, I worked at Westmoreland Community College as a health fitness assistant to a great athletic director there, Bob Kostelnik. And I worked with Bob for 13 years, and I was part-time there. And 7 of those years, I also worked, so the second 7, while I was still working there, I worked at an outpatient physical therapy clinic in Latrobe. So my background is education, health and phys ed, but I minored in sports medicine, and I'm a certified athletic trainer. So I worked orthopedics for many years in physical therapy, outpatient physical therapy.
Very good.
So I sort of I was working 2 jobs when I was doing that. And then went full-time at the clinic from the community college.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah, so that's my history, really, is 3 jobs in the last 40-some years.
And all of it's taking care of people.
All of it is,
All of
yeah,
it.
working with and taking care of people, working
and
with
helping
people.
them to be their most fit and to recover from injuries. And,
Right, yeah.
And I'm sure you help them prevent injuries too.
Absolutely.
When you were...
That's the biggest part of athletic training is
Yes.
injury prevention, not
Right.
treatment. So,
Good.
yeah, so I really enjoyed that as well. So,
That's awesome. How did you become interested in fitness? What was it that said, hey?
well, growing up, big family, a lot of siblings. We were always playing kickball or dodgeball or baseball or running or whatever. So I just grew up being outdoors and loving it, So then decided to go into health and physical education out of high school, and I played volleyball at IUP, and it just continued from there. It just in some capacity.
You mentioned siblings. How many siblings do you have?
I have 15.
15.
So there's 16 of us.
16 kids.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
it's amazing.
That's amazing.
It's a legacy.
It is a legacy.
It's amazing.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your family. What was it like to grow up in such a large family?
Well, I don't know anything different.
Yeah.
So it was normal to me. To everybody else, they're just like, oh my God, what's that like?
Where'd you fit in?
There's 4 younger than me, so I'm number 12 if you're going in numbered order.
Wow.
So 4 younger than me. So
that's amazing.
Yeah,
So did everybody have to take turns with chores? What happens when you're in a family that big and there's so many people to take care of?
Yeah. So, well, we weren't all in the house at the same time because my oldest sister was born in 1944 and my youngest sister was born in 1969.
Okay.
So I had a brother in the Army, in the military. I never lived it with my oldest brother and sister. So,
okay.
So there's such a span of age and years.
That's right.
But at any given time, there was, 8 to 10 of us in the house.
Which is plenty too.
Right.
And there was a sign I saw that was called Jarbeck Valley. What is that?
So Jarbeck Valley is our homestead.
Okay.
It's where I grew up. It's a little town 5 miles north of Punxsutawney. I say I'm from Punxsutawney because people have heard of that. But the town that we grew up in is actually Oneida. It's spelled Anita, but it's Oneida. And we live down in a valley, and that's where our home is. And
did you have a big yard? Was there a lot of land or?
Yeah, a pretty big yard. Land. 4 or 5 acres.
Right.
And a lot of that was mowed and kept up and things like that. So
did you have to cut the grass?
We all had to do everything.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, whether it was helping with the gardening to dishes, laundry, whatever that was. I mean, it can't work without everybody working.
All hands on deck.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you had plenty of hands to do that.
Yes.
So you mentioned Punxsutawney. So. Oh, that's kind of a special place on February 2nd. Anyhow,
Yes.
I'm sure it's always a special place, but especially that day. Was it a big deal for you when you were growing up to be in Punxsutawney?
It was. I didn't know what the hoopla was all about because I was there. I grew up there. And in elementary school, I didn't go to Groundhog Day, the event, until I think it was my senior year in high school, the first time I went. So it is a big deal. It's become a big deal over the years. And things like that, but Punxsutawney High School now, then they didn't close school the day of Groundhog Day. They do now, and things like that. But it's pretty unique. It's everybody knows about it. It's a bucket list thing for a lot of people to go to Groundhog Day, and it's still a great event. And it's a whole week of dances and dinners, and
nice.
They show Groundhog Day at the local theater, and things like that. So,
Sure.
so being from there is it's a little niche. I think that it's fun to say that I'm from Punxsutawney.
Yes,
You know?
everybody knows the
Everybody
town.
knows, yeah, right.
Not everybody has been there, but
A lot of people
especially
want to be.
yeah. How early in the morning do they show up for those?
Well, they start the buses running at 3 a.m.
Wow.
and fuel doesn't come out till 7:05 or something like
Okay.
that. So they've got a system down of transporting people from different locations to park with the buses and things like
For
that.
the brave people.
For the brave
It's like
people,
the
yeah.
people that do the polar plunge.
Yes.
The other brave people.
Yes, yes, to get up early and
In the
go see a
winter.
groundhog. But
That's right, in the middle of winter. And to travel, people travel from all over,
all
right?
over, yeah, and not just in the United States. I mean, there's
Wow.
exchange students and things that
Cool. That's
come, so.
pretty cool. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. So tell me about these parents that raised
Oh my
all
God,
of these children.
Bill and Jean,
Yeah.
amazing,
Yeah.
hardworking,
Right.
passionate, loving. Yeah, they're
Right.
missed.
That's
yeah.
right. That's right.
But they very much disciplinarians.
Mm-hmm.
We all towed the line, so to speak,
Right.
but very gentle.
That's right.
Very gentle, and just I don't know. I couldn't say enough about them because
right.
they're just they're our hearts, they're our pulse
That's
going
right.
forward. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We live in them, we carry their legacy. So, yeah, it's tough without them.
Absolutely.
So.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
And they taught you so much.
Yeah, they taught us how to be people. How to be good people and loving, passionate people. So
That's right.
they're good.
Well,
yeah.
they did a good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you know that. You don't need me to tell you, but that's absolutely true. I understand you were the first of the siblings to go to college.
That's correct.
So that's a pretty neat thing.
Yeah.
When you think about that. My goodness. What was it that enabled you to be the first to go to college?
Well, I think I knew what I didn't want to do. I didn't want to get married. Back then, my older sisters got married young, and two of my older sisters just both celebrated last year their 50th wedding anniversary. So they got married very young. I knew that's why I didn't want to do that. I didn't think I was smart enough to go to college. I was a decent, decent student in high school, but I played sports. That was my priority. If I got my work done, that was okay. But you didn't come home with a failing grade either. So I knew what I didn't want to do. I didn't want to go get a job at the local whatever. And I thought, well, I'll try this college thing, and see how that goes. And I had a couple mentors in high school that guided me somewhat to how to navigate that, because I didn't know how to navigate. We didn't have any money for college, so it was I worked in the summers and really didn't save anything for college. But we just I had a couple of people that helped guide me that way, and then was able to apply for aid and loans and things like that. So that was and I ended up going to Punxsutawney campus of IUP my freshman year.
Okay.
It was like 13th grade. It wasn't good for me. I needed to leave and learn that academics were really important. And so so it was a lot of different people guiding me in a little bit here, a little bit there. Just sort of put it together that, if I'm going to do this, I better apply and all that.
Were the people that guided you kind of like your mentors, maybe like your angels, if you will? Were they people from the campus or people from your family or community?
Well, my family encouraged me once I thought that's what I wanted to do. I had a couple of teachers in high school that, thought, you'd be great at this or this. Changed my major multiple times before I landed. So I had, multiple people just sort of a little bit here, and it all came together.
Sure, that's right. That's right. Nice.
Yeah.
That support makes a big difference.
Sure, yeah.
So do you ever go back home?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Do you?
Yeah, so when my parents were living, I was there a lot. Even though, I was driving, an hour and a half or 2 hours to get there. And then, my brother still lived up there, and my brother passed away in May, and I was trying to get up there at least a weekend a month. And my kids, trying to get up, and but we use that, our parents' house is still our home.
Nice.
And we have a family calendar, and we have like 5 dates throughout the year that we get together there.
Nice.
Yeah, so major holidays and a family reunion.
Wow.
So yeah, so it's
everybody's still like it comes back 5 times a year.
well, not everybody. Whoever can make it on the what we put out there on it. You know, my sister,
nice.
my younger sister Julie is amazing. She puts our calendar together, and you know, we put the dates on it, and they're consistent each. You know, what time of the year,
Talk
what
about
dates.
family reunions.
Yeah. So sometimes, you know, all the siblings make it. Sometimes 5 or 6 make it, and some of the kids, and you know, nieces and nephews, and things like that. So it's open to everybody, and whoever can show up shows up, and you know, and who doesn't, we try to catch them the next time.
That's pretty good. That's pretty awesome. How special is that?
It's great. It's great.
What's the thing that you do that makes you the happiest?
Being with my family.
Okay. Tell us about your family. Who are they?
So I have 2 sons and 3 bonus daughters. I call them bonus. Blended family, and our 3 daughters have 9 kids and 2 great grandkids. So my immediate family, just my husband and I, there's 19 of us.
Wow.
So we do things together as far as, you know, family get-togethers and things like that. And then my brothers and sisters, and it's crazy because we can't get enough of each other. Even as and the older we get, the more time we want to spend with each other.
Nice.
So it's just trying to navigate, you know, time, you know, getting time, finding time that people can get together, each other, the kids and siblings.
Right.
You know, so so that's it. That's
awesome.
in a nutshell. That's the one
Being
thing
with your family.
That's my happy place.
And
yeah.
you're going to be able to do that a lot more now.
Yes.
So that's pretty awesome.
Yes, I am going to be able to travel and do some things, and see family and things like that.
Well, that leads me to my next question.
Okay.
Okay. So when you interview for a job, you're often asked, where do you see yourself in 5 years? So I'm going to ask you that same question.
Okay.
Once you're retired, where do you see yourself tomorrow, and where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Tomorrow, I see myself doing pretty much what I did today.
Yes. Which sounds really good.
And 5 years from now, I see myself, all of us 5 years older, all the kids, you know, grandkids, and you know, if our boys have kids, that, and then, you know, my siblings. I sometimes don't want to think that far ahead because we're all getting older.
Right.
And you know, time is precious, and we only get so much. So 5 years from now, I just see myself. My husband's going to be retired in 3 months, so I see us being with family. You know, so
you mentioned travel. Where do you want to go?
we have family out of state. I have a sister in Texas, a sister in Florida, and my husband has an aunt and uncle in Oklahoma that we want to go see.
Okay.
So those are the more immediate places we want to go.
That's pretty nice. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And have the freedom to do that now.
And have the freedom to do that.
That's pretty awesome.
And he has one sister, so this whole our big family, and my husband has one sister, and that's it. So we're a lot, and it's like our motto, like we're a lot, but you know what you're getting into when you get into it.
He certainly adjusted, right?
He has adjusted very well.
That's awesome. Well, you picked a special one.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
That's great. That's great. What advice would you have for someone who is thinking about retirement?
You know what? It's a real personal thing, and it's people have to. I think for me, and for anybody else, you have to feel satisfied with what you did in your life, in your career. I feel like, I started working when I was 15 years old, so I don't feel like entitled to anything. I just feel like I served my community well. I think I served my family well. I want to serve them better. I want to serve the Lord, that's a priority for me. So for somebody that's looking to retire, I would say you'll know when it's right, and if you can have your ducks in a row and financially can do that, I would say do it as soon as you can, and because that time it just goes away really quickly.
That's right.
So be prepared. Set yourself up to be in a place where you can do it.
Right. because it comes faster than you think.
It comes so fast.
Yes.
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 Yeah, and the older you get, faster it goes,
Yes.
and that's true. It's the one thing your parents told you that's absolutely true.
It's true.
So yeah,
Yes.
I would say just do things in an order that gets you where you want to be.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially those people starting out their career, and you hear about planning for retirement. You go, oh, that's so far down the road. Well, it's really not.
It's
and
really
when
not.
you can get to the other side and be saying, okay, I can get to retire now, or I get to retire earlier than I would have. How special.
It's even, it's a bonus.
How special is that?
Yeah, very much.
And not to say because you loved your job, you loved everything, everything about it. But this is a special time in your life for sure.
Yeah.
This is my last question for you. What have the students over the years taught you?
Well, they've taught me to be patient. I'm pretty much a type A personality, very competitive, and not always patient. But I have learned that. I've learned that pretty well, I think, over the years. They taught me to take my time with people, stop and talk. I go through the fitness center back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and sometimes I'm just on a mission to do something. So I had a gentleman years ago that he taught me that, and I was so glad he did, because I started doing that, and I would always stop and talk to him because he said that to me. And it was maybe a few months later, and he passed away, and I was like, I take that with me.
What did he tell you? What did he say to you?
He said, you need to slow down and just stop and just, talk. Just like, and I've done that. So I know many, many members of the Y by their name, and I know their families. I know their kids' names, some of them. So that, they taught me that.
That's right.
And they taught me just, be in it, be in the moment kind of thing.
To appreciate the moment.
Appreciate the moment,
right.
yeah.
And even just that one gentleman and his advice to you, it kind of changed everything after that.
It did, because otherwise I would just, literally be walking by people. I would say hello, but I wouldn't stop.
Yes.
And people that come to the Y or anywhere where there's people meeting in a place, they just want you to notice them, to talk to them, and care enough to talk to them. That's right. So I think that taught me that, and with my retirement party on Friday, I think that was relayed a lot, from different people, that I did take the time to, even in my hurriest of mornings or whatever, I did try to. I could have done it better, I'm sure, but I think I did it okay.
I think you did.
So,
I think you probably did an amazing job at that.
Yeah, I hope they feel that way.
Well, very good. Well, Bea, thank you for taking the time
You're welcome.
to share your story.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, to be an encouragement to those who are thinking about retiring or are retiring right now.
Yeah.
Just know that day is here, and it's theirs, and it's yours now. So we congratulate you.
And when they do retire, come to the YMCA if they're not there yet.
Yes,
right.
Come to the Y, because there's so much to do.
There's so much to do,
including pickleball.
Yes,
which is so big right now.
Yes,
Okay.
It's huge. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And Silver Sneakers is there too.
Yeah, huge Silver
That's
Sneakers.
Huge.
Yeah.
I'll just say this real quick. There was a few years ago, there was somebody in our town, and she lived to be 100, 101. And I went down, she was doing Silver Sneakers somewhere else. And I went down and just kind of asked her, like, what keeps you so young? And she said, this is how I'm reaching 100 years old, is Silver Sneakers. Absolutely.
And it's moving activity.
Yes.
People say the Fountain of Youth, and the Fountain of Youth is at the YMCA.
Yes.
If people are looking for a physical location, that's where it is.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
So they should come there.
That is so great, because you won't stop moving when you get there.
No. And they'll enjoy
secret.
it, and they'll find out how much more. It's like Pandora's box.
Exactly.
When they get
and not
there.
only will you keep moving, but you'll find a community of friendship and camaraderie, and a place where they can belong.
Social. It's very much a social event for people that are lonely or widowed or whatever it is, looking for companionship and friendship. It's so that's why I always say the YMCA is not just a fitness center. It's a lot more to that, and it's in good hands, and I'm happy to say I served it well, and it's 24 years later. So who knew? Who knew?
Really,
yeah.
Well,
so,
congratulations.
Thank you so much, Mary. I appreciate it.
Thank you for all you've done to serve our community.
Oh, thank you. And I want to thank the YMCA for all the, I had worked with great people, and, I will miss them, but I'll be back for, classes and things like that. So I want to thank the board of directors and Steve Simon and Missy Troxel and all the great instructors and personal trainers and coaches that I worked with.
Nice.
It's been a lot.
I'm sure they're going to miss you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, thanks, Bea. Great to have you here.
Thank you, Mary. I appreciate it.
If you're one of the millions of people who are retiring like Bea, take a moment to reflect with gratitude on the people and places that have brought you to this place in your life. Then, go spend time with family, play pickleball, travel, walk, write that book, and always remember to just stop and breathe. Enjoy every moment of these golden years because this is your time. Thanks so much for being with us.